Hanji beta. So you can see this slide in front of you. So think and share your views. So you might have seen animals in the zoo, है ना? You all might have gone to the zoos as well. So when you see those animals, how do they look in the cages there? Happy or sad? What is your view? कैसे लगते हैं आपको? बहुत खुश दिखाई देते हैं वो केज में, or you can see a sad expression on their face. And is it correct to keep them caged for our amusement and fun? Why not? So let me have responses from your side. Yes, Bhumi?
Ma'am, yes, I have seen animals in zoo a
Mm.
number of times.
Mm.
They look sad as compared. I have also went to a national park because once I have seen the deer in both the places.
Mm.
In national park,
Mm.
they were enjoying, they were playing, but whereas in zoo they were sitting and were looking very sad,
Mm.
were looking very gloomy, and it was there was no interest in seeing those animals.
Yes.
No, it's not correct to keep them caged because they have also right to live and right to have fun, just like us. So a human can't keep them in cage for their own sake.
Yes, good answer. Thank you, Bhumi. Anybody else who would like to share the view? Do you consider these things to be a right one, that the animals, they should be caged and kept in the cages for amusement and fun purpose? So what is the best possible solution? Yes, Ria, share your views.
If we are having like dogs which are moving on the roads, we
Hmm.
can just take them and just take care of them instead of just taking care of the labradors who are already very much living a royal life. And
Okay.
जब हम देखते हैं मैम कि जो वाइल्ड एनिमल्स होते हैं वो बहुत ज्यादा मतलब जैसे यहाँ पे हमारी जो डॉग्स वगैरह होते हैं सड़कों पे, अगर
Hmm.
हम उनकी केयर करने लग जाएं तो मे बी ये भी अच्छी चीज हो जाएगी कि ये भी एक अच्छा काम होता है। और अगर हम उनकी केयर कर रहे हैं जो ऑलरेडी बहुत ज्यादा पेट शॉप्स में पड़े हैं और उनकी रॉयल लाइफ है, तो
Hmm.
दैट इज नॉट अ गुड थिंग।
Yes, we should not just think about those hybrid quality dogs or animals. We should also think about those who are stray dogs, stray animals, and those who don't have shelters there in life. Yes, okay, good thought, beta, Ria. Yes, next is Moksh. Hanji, beta, share your views.
I feel that animals should not be put in the cage for our personal amusement and fun, because for our personal amusement and fun, their life is at risk. They are caged, they may be feeling suffocation in the cages,
Hmm.
because the cages are not that big to keep the big animals.
Hmm.
I feel more and more zoos, instead of zoos, national parks and wildlife sanctuaries should be built it will take care of two features of the endangered as well as the amusement.
Yes. So, what we actually conclude. Anybody else who would like to say? आप में से कोई और कुछ कहना चाहता है? Yes, Bhumi.
Ma'am, just like we all are locked in our homes and we are not allowed to go out, similarly, they are for the whole life, they are also not allowed to move, and even they are locked in only one room. Still, we have a freedom to move from one room to another, but they don't have such a freedom,
Hmm.
and they are not able to interact with their groups.
Yes.
So
Okay. Yes, Mandeep, what do you want to add?
It is not correct to keep animals in the cage for our amusement and fun, because the earth is not only for humans, it is for the whole humanity, and it is whole for the wildlife, and both wildlife and us. We
Hmm.
should not keep them in the cage for our sake.
Yes. So see, How wonderful thoughts you have presented. I really appreciate the way you think. Yes, of course. It is said that freedom, it is an essential virtue valued by all, not only humans, but animals as well. फ्रीडम की इक्वल इंपॉर्टेंस है, चाहे वो जानवर है चाहे वो इंसान है. सो नो वन नोज इट बेटर देन अ केजेड एनिमल. अगर आप अब देख लो, हम इंसान भी शायद इस चीज को बेहतर समझ पा रहे हैं. द वे वी आर लॉक्ड इन आवर हाउसेस, है ना, we are not allowed to go out, especially the children. You have spent a long time remaining under the four walls of your houses, so that way hats off to you. And this way you can actually now sympathize and empathize with the condition of the animals as well, because all the animals, they are actually born to live in the natural habitats. But what we humans do, we also try to cage those animals which are wild, which are ferocious. We try to tame them as well. We try to domesticate them. Those mighty animals like lions and tigers, we lock them up in the concrete cell. It is against the natural justice. जब हम प्राकृतिक न्याय की बात करें तो ये गलत है. We cannot lock them up in the cages. It is not right. And that's why humans, they have realized their fault also. And they have come up with practical solutions as well. And we see that how Moksh has also added that wildlife sanctuaries, the natural habitats are provided to the animal. And that's the best possible solution. The tigers, they can roam around in those places openly. So this way, जो जानवर होते हैं उनको भी जीने का उतना ही हक है जितना हम ह्यूमंस को है. So we humans are sharing this planet Earth, with millions and millions of other species, and we have to respect their existence as well. हम उनकी existence को नकार नहीं सकते हैं, हम उनकी existence को बर्बाद नहीं कर सकते हैं. We don't have the sole right on this earth, and that's why we need to respect their existence. But it's a tragedy. Because of the human activities, we see that how many of the valuable species have come to an end, and they are on the verge of extinction as well. We kill them, we tame them, we cage them, but this is not a thing that we humans should do. We should provide them the place, because they are the denizens of the open wild habitat. ये जितने भी जो ferocious animals होते हैं, wild animals होते हैं, they are the denizens of the green world. इनको भी उतना ही इक्वल अधिकार है इस ओपन वर्ल्ड में रहने का, और हमें उनको इस तरह से केजेस में रखना नहीं चाहिए. एंड स्पेशली फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ अम्यूजमेंट एंड फन. किसी भी जानवर को बंधक बनाकर अम्यूजमेंट के लिए, फन के लिए रखना, इट्स नॉट गुड. सो वी शुड think over this situation. We should act now, and that's why NGOs, governments, they are taking necessary steps to prevent the wildlife of the countries. And that's why the wildlife sanctuaries, the natural sanctuaries are being built so that we can save these animals from extinction. And this is what is the theme which is conveyed through the poem that we are going to read today. Today, we are going to read the poem that is A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Leslie Norris. So here the poem, it talks about the misery and the helplessness of a caged tiger inside a zoo. And the poem also talks about the kind of life the tiger would have had he been free to roam in the jungle. So he presents the two contrasting views in his poem. The poet Leslie Norris, he talks about the two different conditions. He presents a picture of the image of a tiger, which is actually captured in the zoo, limited, confined in the four concrete walls of the zoo. And then he also presents a picture of the tiger who is walking free in the jungle, who is hunting the deer and terrorizing the people, because he is the denizen of the green world and he cannot be kept in cages. So it talks about the misery, and thus the poem highlights the sad plight of wild animals whom we human beings capture for fun and money. And thus it is actually giving a food for thought for the readers to think that how we should empathize. We should not take away the rights of these wild animals to live on this planet. We should not cage them, put them behind the bars, and just for the sake of entertainment. So Brief information about the poet Leslie Norris. He was a prize-winning Welsh poet. Means he belonged to the country of Wales. Wales जो है यूनाइटेड किंगडम का एक हिस्सा है, and he was a famous Welsh poet. तो जो वेल्स के रहने वाले उन्हें हम वेल्श कहते हैं. And he had published his first poem at the age of 17. His works deal with the themes of the Welsh home, his past experiences, the pre-war period, the post-war period, nature, as a teacher that he had experienced in his life and the life of the instinct. इन सारी चीजों को लेकर उन्होंने अपनी कविताओं में खूबसूरत रचनाएं की हैं. He taught at the academic institution of Britain and the United States, including the Birmingham Young University. Norris is considered one of the most important Welsh writers of the post-war period. Post means जो war, जंग के बाद जो घटनाएं होती हैं, लोग जो trauma face करते हैं, वो उनका main theme रहा है हमेशा से ही. Nature also the prime subject of his poems as well, and he has won many literary prizes. उनकी जो publications हैं, बहुत सारी उन्होंने prizes उनमें जीते हैं. And this poem, A Tiger in the Zoo, is also one of his famous creations. So let's read the poem and have the paraphrasing. Let's understand what is the poem all about. In the very opening, we have been given information that how this poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo with the tiger in its natural habitat. The poem moves from the zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. So let's read the poem and understand what the poet has tried to convey through this poem. The first stanza: he stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on paths of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. So he here is the tiger. Here the poet has personified the tiger. Personification क्या होता है? When the human traits are given to any non-living object or non-human things. जैसे यहाँ पर एक जानवर को ही करके एड्रेस किया गया है, and here the tiger has been personified. So he stalks. Stalks means walks, follows the path in his vivid stripes. Vivid means clear, bright colored stripes. Now tigers के जो skin पर stripes बनी होती है, right? So he can be seen clearly walking in the cage behind, and his stripes could be seen clearly. The few steps of his cage. Few means taking small steps. He's confined within the boundary of the cage, which is the unnatural abode of this tiger at the moment. So here he has created the image of the tiger, which is actually captured, and he is put behind the bars. He is kept in the cage there. On pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. यहाँ पर pads of velvet. He has used a metaphor. Pads कहा गया है paws of the tiger. जो tiger है उसके paws को pad कहा गया है, and it is compared with velvet. Velvet soft कपड़ा होता है, मखमल का जो कपड़ा होता है, soft जो कपड़ा है. So pads of velvet means the paws of the tiger has been compared to the velvet here. So जो heels हैं उसके looks like a pads of velvet in his quiet rage. Rage means uncontrollable anger, and quiet refers to जो शांत होता है. यहाँ पर suppress कहा गया है. जो quiet here is actually referred to the suppressed anger. So see, यहाँ पर suppress भी कहा गया है, uncontrollable भी कहा गया है. Two words opposite to each other has been put together, and this poetic device is oxymoron. Oxymoron. So suppressed anger, जो tiger है, he is now actually behind the cage. He is put in a cage. So the dweller of the forest is forcefully now put in a cage. So the tiger is in the zoo at the moment, and it is not his natural habitat. वो habitat क्या है? Artificial है. And he walks in quiet rage. उस पिंजरे में वो tiger जो है, he takes a few steps because he cannot walk more than the space that is there in the cage. वो उस छोटे से केज के अंदर बंधक है, and वो छोटे कदमों के साथ उसी केज के अंदर चल रहा है. quiet rage. गुस्सा जो उसका है, जो टाइगर का जो एंगर है, which is uncontrollable, now it is suppressed here at the moment. And the stripes on his body are very distinct. It can be seen, easily seen. The stripes are darker, bright in color than the rest of his coat. And the tiger moves very softly and quietly with his pads of velvet. उसके कदमों की आहट सुनाई नहीं देती है क्योंकि उसके जो पॉज हैं वो बहुत सॉफ्ट हैं, जस्ट लाइक वेलवेट, एंड ही इज मूविंग सॉफ्टली quietly with the suppressed anger in that very cage. The range of his movement is limited, so that's why the few steps of his cage, उसकी जो movement है वो उस केज के अंदर तक ही सीमित है. He goes on moving around within the confines of the cage, and the tiger, he is actually not relishing the stares of the onlookers in the zoo. वो बहुत शांत है, वो वहां पर उन आने वाले विजिटर्स पर भी कोई ध्यान नहीं दे रहा है. His rage, his anger is suppressed. उसका जो क्रोध है, गुस्सा है, वो दबा पड़ा है. Because the tiger, he is not in his natural habitat. This wilds, the jungle उसका जो है वो natural habitat है, but unfortunately जो denizen of the forest है, denizen कहते हैं रहने वाले, ये जो जंगल में रहने वाला है, it has been confined to a caged habitat in the zoo. He is no more free to roam about in the forest now, and he is walking within the length and breadth of his cage. वो अपने उस केज के ही लेंथ एंड ब्रेथ को नाप रहा है, कुछ स्टेप्स वो ले रहा है केज के अंदर और सॉफ्टली चल रहा है. उसके कदमों की आहट जो है वो सुनाई भी नहीं दे रही है. And he is condemned to live in the cage. He walks around quietly with his velvety, soft feet, and he is angry, but he has to suppress his anger. Then in the second stanza, poet क्या कहते हैं? He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where the plump deer pass. Now the poet is presenting a picture of his natural habitat. कि जो टाइगर है, इसकी जो इमेज है, इसकी एक्टिविटी की इमेज को प्रेजेंट किया है कि एक टाइगर को कैसा होना चाहिए, एक जंगल में एक टाइगर कैसा होता है. He should be lurking in shadow. Lurking means he should be hidden somewhere, waiting secretly in the shadows of the trees, sliding through long grass near the water hole where the plump deer pass. So छोटे छोटे जो होल्स होते हैं, स्मॉल पूल ऑफ जो वाटर है, जहां पर जो डियर है, प्लम्प डियर रेफर्स टू वेल ग्रोन फैट डियर, दे कम टू क्वेंच देयर थर्स्ट, दे पास फ्रॉम देयर, एंड द टाइगर, ही शुड बी हाइडिंग समवेयर सीक्रेटली बिहाइंड द लॉन्ग ग्रास टू हंट द डियर. So the poet is presenting a picture. He's talking about that how a tiger should have been in his natural habitat. The poet mourns that the zoo is not the rightful place of the tiger. He is a denizen of jungle. His real place is in the wild. And had he been in the wild, he would have been walking around in shadows. He must have been sliding quietly through the long grass to ambush his kill. Ambush means घेराव करके जब अटैक करते हैं. तो जंगल में एक टाइगर क्या कर रहा होता है? वो चुपचाप सीक्रेटली लॉन्ग ग्रास, झाड़ियों के बीच छुपकर वो अपना शिकार ढूंढ रहा होता है. सो ही शुड बी यूजिंग द लॉन्ग ग्रास एंड शैडोज एज नेसेसरी कवर्स to ambush, to keep his movement undetected, so that he could hunt the deer. He could see where the tiger, he could get his favorite hunt, that is the plump deer, a well-grown fat deer. So he should approach the water hole quietly where the animals and deer, they come to drink water. So उसकी गतिविधि को बताया गया है कि एक टाइगर जंगल में कैसे रहता है. वो बेबाक रहता है, बिना किसी से डरे हुए रहता है और अपने शिकार को वो छुप कर ढूंढता है. मारने के लिए वो एम्बुश करता है, एंड देन अपने मनपसंद शिकार, दैट इज गोल मटोल हिरन को वो ढूंढता है, वो उसे ऑब्जर्व करता है, धीरे धीरे पीछा करता है, और पानी का स्रोत जहां पर वो जानवर पानी पीते आते हैं वहां पर छुप कर उनका इंतजार करता है, so that he can hunt the plump deer. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. So he adds more about the activities of the tiger. Jungle में वो और क्या कर रहा होगा? Snarling means growling. It's an onomatopoeia used here, right? So snarling around the houses. So had he not been bound in the cage, he would have been roaming in the village. कि कभी कभार वो वैसे ही गांव की तरफ बढ़ जाता है और वहां क्या करता है? He would have been terrorizing the villagers there. अपने white fangs को, fangs here refers to the teeth, sharp teeth, जो canine होते हैं जो टाइगर के, कहते हैं वो उन fangs को बारिंग, बारिंग मीन्स which is not covered, उन्हें छुपाता नहीं है, और किस लिए, वो किनको दिखा रहा है? विलेजर्स को, terrorizing the villagers with his ferocious nature. What the tiger should be doing? So the poet says that had the tiger been in the forest, sometimes it would stray into the human settlement. कई बार टाइगर्स जो है वो भटक कर इंसानों की बस्ती की तरफ भी चले आते हैं. So he would stray around the outskirts of the village. So jungle's edge means जंगल के किनारे तक आकर sometimes he would come into the village. And on seeing the villagers, he would open his long, sharp teeth and claws to terrorize them. So baring his white fangs, his claws, और अपने जबड़ों को, अपने दांत दिखाकर वो कभी कभार जो रेसिडेंट्स हैं, जो विलेजर्स हैं, उनको डराया करेगा. बट वो कहते हैं it would just be a show of power and strength to the villagers. He would have no intention of killing the villagers and entering their houses. यहाँ पर पोइट क्या कहते हैं कि जो वाइल्ड एनिमल्स होते हैं वो तब तक इंसानों को अटैक नहीं करते जब तक उसे प्रोवोक ना किया जाए. So वो क्या कहते हैं कि sometimes he would just stray into the village, but he would never have the intention of killing the villagers or entering their houses. The poet, he tries to say that generally the tiger never attacks till he is highly provoked. जानवर जो होते हैं, वाइल्ड एनिमल्स जो होते हैं, वो भी रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं अदर्स के एग्जिस्टेंस को, और वो तब तक अटैक नहीं करते जब तक उनको प्रोवोक न किया जाए. किलिंग इनकी हॉबी नहीं होती है, बट इट्स अ नेसेसिटी ऑफ द फूड. सो इट्स अ फूड साइकिल दैट इज मेंटेन्ड इन द जंगल. कि जो टाइगर्स हैं वो हिरन का शिकार करते हैं, तो इट्स जस्ट अ फूड साइकिल दैट कंटिन्यूज, बट इट इज नॉट देयर हॉबी. But he adds that yes, being the denizen of the forest, he sometimes may come into the village and terrorize the villagers, but not with the aim of killing them. He attacks only when provoked, but killing is not his hobby. So thus he says he should be snarling around the houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. And then in the next stanza, he again comes back to the picture of the zoo. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. But it's very unfortunate. Here, poet presents the unfortunate picture that how tiger is not at the moment in the natural habitat of the wild. He is unfortunately locked in the concrete cell. Concrete means जो mortar, brick and cement से बने होते हैं, उस cell के अंदर he is locked up there. He is behind the bars. So he is just we can say उसकी जो unbound strength है, it is actually locked behind the bars, stalking the length of his cage. He is just allowed to move within the length and breadth of the cage. वो मजबूर है उस चार दीवारी के अंदर ही चलने के लिए. And now he is even ignoring the visitors there. जो zoo में visitors आए हुए हैं उसे देखने, he is just ignoring them. So what he says, unfortunately, the tiger, it is locked in the concrete cell of the zoo. His powerful and strong body is now no use to him as he is put behind the bars. His movements have been limited. He is continuously moving about length and breadth of the cage. मजबूर है वो, चक्कर लगा रहा है अपनी पिंजरे की लंबाई को ही नाप रहा है, वह उतने ही एक घेरे में वो सिर्फ चलने को मजबूर है. So he doesn't relish the curious stares of the visitors there. He simply ignores their presence. So पोइट क्या कहते हैं कि ये जो टाइगर है वो अब इतना मजबूर है that he is no longer even looking at the visitors, those who have come to enjoy his view. लोग जाते हैं दूर दूर से, जंगल से सॉरी जू में जाते हैं टाइगर्स को देखने, लायंस को देखने जो बंद है पिंजरे में. लेकिन यहाँ जो टाइगर है वो इतना मजबूर है कि जो विजिटर्स उनको देखने आए हैं वो उनकी स्टेयर्स को पसंद नहीं कर रहा है. ही इज जस्ट सिंपली इग्नोरिंग देयर प्रेजेंस. And in the concluding stanza, what the poet says, he hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So last voice at night, the patrolling cars. Now दिन भर बहुत शोर शराबा सुनाई देता है, लोगों की आवाजें सुनती हैं. And now it is the night time. And उसे जो आवाज अब सुनाई दे रही है वो किसकी है? The voice of the patrolling cars. Patrolling means the cars, the people on duty, people on guard who are doing night patrolling there. Vigilance पे जो है वहां पर जो केयर करने के लिए है, to keep an eye in the area of the zoo. He can just hear the noise of their voice of their cars there. And he stares with brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So what the poet is now trying to say, that the tiger has become listless, lifeless here. He describes that how he remains awake till late at night. The poet describes how the day ends for the tiger. किस तरह से इस टाइगर का दिन खत्म होता है. He doesn't go to sleep till the late hours of the night. वो काफी देर रात तक जागता रहता है. He hears the sound of the cars of the zoo official patrolling at night. जो zoo के जो देखभाल करने के लिए जो गार्ड्स हैं, जो ऑफिशियल्स अपॉइंट किए गए हैं. He listens to the sound of the cars. The stars shine brilliantly in the sky, brightly in the sky, and so do his brilliant eyes at night. टाइगर्स की जो आंखें बहुत चमकीली होती हैं, you can see at night वो चमकदार आंखें. He is constantly looking at the brilliant stars. And the poet, he's saying that it is sad to see that how the tiger, he watches the brilliant stars from behind the bars of his cage. The tiger is helpless. He can't free himself, but he keeps on watching the brilliant stars standing behind the bars of his caged habitat. So brilliant stars, जो स्काई में वो जो स्टार्स हैं, जो चमक रहे हैं तारे, जो आजाद है उस आकाश पर, इस टाइगर के अंदर भी एक होप है कि शायद कभी वो आजाद हो जाए. और अपनी उस चमकदार आंखों के साथ the tiger is just watching the brilliant stars in the sky from the bars of his cage. So this is about the poem The Tiger in the Cage. So what we have actually read, that in the poem, the poet has presented a contrast between a tiger when he is in his natural surrounding and when he is imprisoned in the zoo. So the poem moves from the zoo to jungle, back again to the zoo. The poet, he sees the tiger in the zoo on a starry night. In the cage, he has no freedom. Though the tiger is portrayed as talking about walking, it is only within the confines of the cage where his talking is mingled with quiet rage. Uski jo anger hai wo suppressed hai. So instead of lurking in the shadows of the jungle in pursuit of a deer, the tiger is a confined animal. एक बंधक बन के रह गया है. Instead of spreading terror among the villagers living in the edges of the forest, the tiger of the poem is locked in a concrete cell where he ignores the visitors. Instead of hearing the call of the jungle animals, उसे क्या सुनाई दे रहा? He hears the sound of the patrolling cars. In the silence of the night, he stares at the brilliant stars with his bright eye instead of staring at a potential prey. So, एक comparison किया है कि कैसे एक tiger जो आजाद जंगल में घूमता है तो उसकी क्या एक्टिविटीज होती हैं. He has compared it with the life of the tiger who is confined within the bars of a cage. So this poem is an honest take on the plight of caged animals, the theme that is brought out. So through the life of a caged tiger, the poem offers an insight into the lives of the animals in a zoo. क्या condition होती है zoo में रह रहे उन जानवरों की. So since time immemorial, human beings, they have hunted, captured, used animals to satisfy their insatiable hunger for pleasure and money. कभी ना सेटिस्फाई होने वाली जो भूख है पैसे की, प्लेजर की, हमने युगों युगों से जानवरों को टेम किया है, जानवरों को हंट किया है, उन्हें कैप्चर किया है जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ मनी एंड प्लेजर. So the poet wants to pass on the message that freedom is elementary for all living beings, be it humans or animals or birds. So just as it is cruel to enslave human beings, it is cruel and malicious to keep animals locked behind bars for fun and money. It is best for them to lurk and enjoy the green, wild surroundings. Let us quickly just discuss the literary devices. First is the personification, that is the attribution of a personal nature or human characteristic to something which is non-human or non-living thing. So here tiger is personified. Metaphor is used, it's a figure of speech which is used to implicit or indirect comparison, which is made between two dissimilar objects. So here we see the poet has used pads of velvet. Here the pads are compared with the soft feet, soft paw of the tiger's foot. Alliteration, a lot of alliteration is used, the occurrence of the same consonant sound in the beginning, middle, or end of the words. So plump deer pass, behind the bars is the then stalks in his vivid stripes. So you can find out various different alliterations in different parts of the lines. Then the repetition, the word velvet, quiet, quiet rage, the quiet word is repeated. Brilliant eyes, brilliant stars, repeated. Next is oxymoron. It's a figure of speech in which contradictory terms appear side by side. जैसे quiet भी, rage भी. Rage होता है uncontrollable anger and quiet means suppress, चुप रहना. So ये जो दो opposite words है, combination of two opposite word, हम इसे कहते हैं oxymoron. Two contradictory ideas को जब side by side similar शब्दों के साथ use किया जाए, they appear side by side, then it's an oxymoron, quiet rage. इंजैबमेंट आपको पहले भी बताया है, जब एक थॉट कंटिन्यू होता है टू डिफरेंट वेरियस लाइंस पर और वहां कोई पंक्चुएशन मार्क नहीं होती है. सो इन वेरियस स्टैंजास यू विल फाइंड द यूज ऑफ इंजैबमेंट, जैसे ही स्टॉक्स इन इट विद स्ट्राइप्स द फ्यू स्टेप्स ऑफ हिज केज. यहाँ पर इस लाइन में कोई भी देखिए पंक्चुएशन मार्क नहीं है. Onomatopoeia is the act of creating using words that include sounds that are similar to the noises of the word. जैसे snarling, जो गुर्राने की आवाज होती है, तो snarl जो है, it's a word onomatopoeia. Please mark the pronunciation. It is onomatopoeia, right? And the word used here is snarling. Imagery, last is the images. Various images, figurative language to represent objects, actions, ideas in such a way that it creates a visual representation of the ideas in our mind. So जैसे stalks in vivid stripes, tiger चलता हुआ अपने stripes के साथ, cage, sliding through long grass, water hole, plump deer, all these are the images used here as an imagery. So these are the few poetic devices which are used in the poem. And the rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B. देखिए stripes, cage, quiet, rage. Cage is rhyming with rage here. Stripes A, cage B, C, quiet, rage B. Same A, B, C, B rhyme scheme is followed in all the stanzas. Shadow, फिर grass with pass and hole. So this way A, B, C, B. So this is the rhyme scheme which is used in the poem throughout the poem, right, students? And this is all about the poem A Tiger in the Zoo.